They built the table long before she ever took a seat. 12 chairs for 12 opinions, thought the count was complete. She arrived one Tuesday with the glove still on her hand, sat down at the periphery and rearranged the plans. Nobody invited her, that wasn't how it worked. But nobody asked her to leave either, that's the part that irks. Something in the atmosphere reconfigured when she settled, like a room that thought it knew its shape and found its edges nettled. She didn't speak for 40 minutes, just observed the cartography of who deferred to whom and why the room's topology. Then she said one sentence, 7 words in form and changed position. Not from fear, from something closer to involuntary recognition. She never raised her voice,
didn't need the thunder,
pulled the whole room toward her,
like a current pulling under.
She never drew a weapon,
never broke a sweat,
just rearranged the furniture.
Everything you kept.
She never raised her voice,
the silence was enough
to make the hardest man in Rome
forget they were tough. The men had coats for women, kept them in the vestibule of power, close enough to serve, too far to misconstrue. She studied every code they had and learned the syntax underneath the grammar of their silences. The rules below the sheath used their own conventions, like a lockpick made of velvet. Every door they thought was sealed, she opened, never felt it. She complimented a man's decision while dismantling its core. Leave him thinking he'd been praised by walking through a door. That's the art they never taught in any room she entered. The alchemy of being underestimated, centered in a posture soft enough to make them feel superior, while she built her infrastructure in their blind interior. She never raised her voice, didn't need the thunder,
pulled the whole room toward her,
like a current pulling under.
She never drew a weapon,
never broke a sweat,
just rearranged the furniture.
Everything you kept.
She never raised her voice,
the silence
was enough to make the hardest men in Rome
forget
they
were tough. By the 3rd year, nobody remembered how it was before. The ones who first resisted were the first ones to adore. Not from charm alone, from something denser, more compositional. The way she held a crisis with a calm disposition. Oh, that men who'd seen 100 wars couldn't manufacture. She had no need for armor, she became the fracture. And every plan that tried to move without a benediction learned that excluding her was just a form of self-affliction. There was a night in Naples, 3 factions at the table, ready to collapse the whole arrangement into fable. She walked in with a bottle and 2 sentences of leverage, left 3 hours later with a treaty and the beverage. They called her names behind her back, the names men always find. For women whose dominion exceeds the space assigned, she collected every whisper like a botanist collects, pressed them flat and filed them under future artifacts. Because the man who names you from his fear has shown his seam, has told you where the armor gaps, has handed you his dream. She never answered insult, never dignified the fracas, just filed it in the ledger under leverage to be factored. And when the moment came, she spent each whisper like a coin in a precise transaction where she needed to anoint her own ascent. Not loudly, never loudly, that was never heard,
just quietly inevitable, like the turning of the year.
Now the table is 13 chairs,
and one sits at the head,
not because she took it,
but because the others led
themselves toward her gravity.
Without a single word, she never raised her voice,
she never had to,
she never had to,
she was
always heard.